Hey everyone, I'm going to walk you through the Perch AI Analyst for customer service. Perch helps teams understand what is happening in their business, why it is happening, and what to do about it. We are looking at a demo property and casualty insurance program, but the same system applies across industries and across service, sales, retention, and other customer journey programs. What I want to focus on today and what really makes Perch different is our AI-powered analysis threads and guide. So I'm going to start right here inside a live analysis. What you are looking at is a call driver performance review. On the left is the analysis thread, the structured data and steps behind the investigation, which you can also explore directly through the UI. On the right is the guide, the AI analyst that understands the business, runs the analysis, and explains what matters and what to do about it. This analysis is also part of a playbook, a repeatable analytical plan that Perch can automatically rerun on whatever cadence you choose and deliver to the right users. And this gets to the core idea behind Perch. Most analytics tools give you data and expect you to figure out what to analyze. Perch does the opposite. The guide already understands how to investigate the program using the Perch way, our analytical approach built from experience across 100 contact center programs. Let me show you what that actually means. The guide has already worked through the key metrics and drivers for each call driver and surfaced the biggest opportunities to improve performance. First, premium charge contacts increased sharply this quarter. The guide ties that to rate changes in Indiana, Michigan, and Missouri, where policyholders were not proactively informed. That drove more calls, lower first contact resolution, and a higher cancellation rate. So the action is not simply handle the calls better. Perch identifies two levers. First, prevent some of these contacts upstream with better policyholder communication. And second, better equip the agents to resolve rate-related questions when customers do call, for example, through better coverage reviews or additional options for retaining the customer. Second, claims denied and appeals calls have a very different problem. Tier 1 agents are still handling a large share of these contacts, but their first contact resolution is over 21 points lower than the specialist team. The guide therefore recommends routing more of these calls directly to the specialists and training Tier 1 agents to identify them quickly and warm transfer them rather than attempting a poor resolution. Third, the coverage questions show a smaller but still material decline in first contact resolution. The guide drills into agent tenure and manager performance and finds that the issue is concentrated among newer agents, especially around the diagnostic skill. It then identifies specific managers where the gap is the largest, making the coaching action much more targeted. So in a few moments, we have gone from service performance changed to three completely different root causes: an upstream root cause, a routing issue, and a frontline coaching issue. That is the core Perch difference. It is not just detecting anomalies, it is systematically working from the outcome to the root cause to the levers the business can actually pull. And if you want to go any deeper on these, I can just ask the guide. For example, let's look at AHT by call driver subreasons. Do claims contacts have materially higher AHT? The guide is going to pull the additional data. So the guide pulls additional data here and shows that claims calls do have higher handle time. But that is expected given their complexity. The real problem is low first contact resolution, which creates repeat calls and drives up cost per resolution. Without that additional context, you might see high AHT and conclude that agents need to shorten these calls. Perch shows that the real lever is resolution, giving you much more confidence that you're acting on the right problem. And you can use the guide the same way for almost any question about the performance data in Perch to investigate further, understand what something means, or figure out the next analysis to run. Now let us jump to a second example. The same system can also analyze AI voice and chatbot performance. Here, Perch detects that false containment, where the bot appears to contain the interaction but the customer comes back again, has risen to almost 20% last month. It isolates the specific transaction types where the bot is failing, looks inside the conversations at things like how well the bot is diagnosing, explaining, and resolving the customer's issues, and recommends which issues should temporarily route to humans and where the bot flow needs to improve. For example, the premium charge questions here. And importantly, the guide is not starting from scratch every time. It continuously builds and updates its understanding of the program, the customer journeys, KPIs, operating rules, prior findings, open issues, and changes that have occurred. So if an API issue caused false containment last month and was fixed, Perch can carry that context forward, verify that performance has recovered, and keep monitoring it rather than rediscovering the same issue from zero. One last example, the same system works for frontline managers. A weekly manager playbook can automatically compare the team to the broader program, identify which agents need the most attention, and explain whether the issue is effort, outcomes, or specific conversational skills. So instead of the manager spending hours digging through scorecards and reports, they can start the week knowing exactly who to focus on and why, and what is driving performance for every agent on their team. And Perch does not lock you into the AI generated answer. If you want to diagnose the data yourself, all of the underlying analysis is still available directly in the analysis thread. So for example, the guide is flagging Omar Blackwell for low FCR. I can click into Omar and ask a simple question. Has Omar's FCR always been low, or is this a recent change? And here we go. I can immediately look at the historical trend and put the current performance in context. He has been performing lower than the average over time. So you get both sides. The guide proactively tells you where to focus, and threads let you transparently explore and validate the underlying data whenever you want to go deeper. The reason all this works is that Perch is built as a full data analysis system underneath. We connect data across your CRM, contact center platform, workforce systems, bots, and other sources, and map it into a unified model of your customer journeys. On top of that, we create a consistent semantic layer of metrics and dimensions and apply the Perch way for how those metrics should be analyzed. And Perch uses AI in our managed services to continuously maintain that foundation as your systems and business change. That gives the guide something generic AI does not have: a structured, current understanding of what your business means, how the pieces relate, and how performance should actually be diagnosed. So stepping back, that is really what Perch is about. Instead of giving your teams more data to interpret, Perch continuously analyzes the business for them, identifying what changed, why it changed, and what to do next. You start with answers, and you can go deeper whenever you need to. Thanks for watching.